friends, it's Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'd love if you would hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. And don't forget to leave a like or a comment down below because it really does help my channel. Today's video is going to actually be a product review. I will show myself cooking in these pans, so you will get some quick breakfast meal ideas as well. But the point of the video is to review and do a giveaway on this product for you guys as well. So first I'll just show you these boxes. I was sent this Greecho frying pan. They're aluminum frying pans. There's one with a removable handle, and then the original one that just has the handle already attached. Let me move those boxes aside so I could show you. This is their original one. It has the handle attached. They are a ceramic coating aluminum pan, and they have these induction safe things, so if you use induction, that's really great for me because I have an individual induction burner, but they work for all cooktops, so electric as well. And they seem like a good quality. They're very thick. In fact, I know they're a good quality, and I'll show you why. So my well, I'll tell you in a second here. Let me show the pan first. So this is the one with the removable handle. So it has this handle here that has a button release lever there, and let me put that on there. So you'll just slide it right onto that little mechanism and it locks in place like that. And then to remove it, you would just pull on the lever, and then I don't want to drop it. This is what my boyfriend did. Remove the handle like that. So my boyfriend actually dropped this pan while removing the handle when he was cleaning it, and we have hard tile floor, and he dropped this thing and it is still fine. It dinged a corner on the edge here of like the paint, but like the actual pan didn't dent, thankfully. And it comes with like this silicone cake mold. You can use it for different things, I'm sure. I was gonna actually use it to make like a crustless quiche, like a smaller one for us, because we don't really need like a whole casserole one. But I did bake something in this and it turned out great. I will show you that later on as I'm showing that, but you put it right in the pan. You would of course remove the handle from that because it's plastic, and then you would just put this whole thing into the oven. Let's see what other points I have to make here. These are dishwasher safe, and you can hand wash them with any soft cleaning tool, your typical non-scratch surface sponges, scrub brushes, things like that. As long as they are made for like non-stick pans, you are good on that. The silicone was pretty easy to wash. I used like the little brush that got in these little grooves that are on the cake mold easily. And then it's also space saving because, well, obviously the handle comes off of the newer model. And the price point on them is, I believe, $19.99 for the one with the handle. And it is on sale right now, I believe $14.99. I think that's a pretty good price for finding a ceramic coated non-stick frying pan, because they are, I don't know, they tend to range in the $30 to $40 range, and sometimes they're not always that great. So I love them so far, and they are 9.5 inches wide. And then this one is also 9.5 inches, and I believe this one is $24 or $29.99. I think it's $29.99, and it's also, I believe, on sale right now with like has a coupon code. The giveaway part of this I will go into later after I show you using these actual pans, like cooking in them. And let's just get to the cooking portion of this. Okay, so for this I'm combining some eggs here. I just kind of like to break those yolks a little bit before I fully whisk. But this is going to be however many eggs you want. You're going to add some heavy cream. I add 1 tablespoon of heavy cream per 2 eggs. So this can be adjusted to however many eggs you need. As you can see, I'm adding in a couple more eggs there. I just figured we were actually having this for dinner, breakfast for dinner, so I wanted to make sure we had enough. To that, I'm also adding a ½ teaspoon of salt and a ¼ teaspoon of pepper, and maybe like 1½ teaspoons of dried parsley. I really like the flavor that adds to this, like to scrambled eggs. It's a little bit something different to just have plain scrambled eggs. So I always like to add little things like that. You can add garlic powder. I'm taking one of the pans here and I've added some butter to that just to melt that on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour my eggs in. And I have this on a medium low heat. I just recently had got this new burner. I put it into my stove here, and it is way stronger than the one I had before. I knew the one before was broken. It wasn't working very well, but this was getting hotter than I wanted to very quick. But yeah, you're just going to want a medium to medium low heat. And I use a rubber spatula to kind of pull those cards, like the egg bits in. And then to the other pan next to it, I've added some ham steaks. You know, use your breakfast meat of choice. I just have these in the freezer and I wanted to use them up, so I figured this was a good way to do that. And I'm also just kind of breaking my eggs up while those ham steaks fry up. My eggs are gonna cook way quicker than the ham steaks are, so I put them onto the other burner because it's a smaller burner. So as you can see, these ham steaks are releasing a lot of liquid, and that is because they were frozen beforehand. And I did try to remove, like, pat them dry, but I just poured off that liquid, which started burning onto the pan, which we'll get back to in a moment here. But to the eggs, I'm just going to add a little bit of cheese. I'm adding Monterey Jack. This is to preference. Whatever you got will work. And I'm adding some diced tomatoes. But first I'm going to just, like, kind of fold that cheese in a bit. That will help it, like, start to melt into the eggs because there's still residual heat there, even though I don't have that burner on it all at this point. I had diced up a fresh tomato. This is also to preference, however much you would like. This just adds a nice freshness to the eggs, which I find to be really good. It helps me have something different than just plain old eggs. I really like that freshness that the chopped vegetable adds in. You can add onions, shallots, whatever other things you like as well. But now we'll get back to these ham steaks. I'm going to show this pan off for a minute here. So I like to really brown them, get a little like charred, nice burnt bits. But the parts that were burning on the side of the pan was because I poured off the liquid, so it coated like all the sides, and it was really thin, so of course it's going to burn up. But I saw that just moving the ham steaks was taking up that burnt. So I decided to get a paper towel and put it on my tongs here, and it just wipes right off. So this is already showing me that washing this is going to be a breeze. So I'm showing you again, once I took the ham steaks out, how taking a piece of paper towel just picked up the rest of that. And when washing this, it just was so easy. It was like nothing was even on there in the first place. Which I'm already in love with, because any nonstick pans I have never been the best. So I'm really excited about these, and I've never owned a ceramic nonstick, and so far I'm really loving that. Here's that meal all done. If you're interested in seeing that, I just served this with some sourdough bread. It was a nice change to have like breakfast for dinner, and something different than like pancakes or something like that. But I did also want to make a sweet breakfast treat and use the cake mold, so I'm gonna make a cinnamon roll cake. For that, I'm actually halving a recipe that I'll have linked for you, but it's gonna be 1.5 cups flour, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then I'll add in 3/4 cup milk and 1 egg, as well as 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then I'm halving that, so 1/4 cup of butter, which would be about 1/2 stick of butter melted. I actually made a mistake here by adding the butter in right away. You're supposed to mix all the ingredients together in the recipe and then slowly add the butter in. It didn't make a difference for me at all that I noticed, so it works out if you mess up as well. And I just use my electric hand mixer to go ahead and mix that until it's smooth. Then I set it aside, and I'm making the topping for the cake. That's going to be 1 stick of butter, so 1/2 cup of butter softened with 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of flour, and then 1/2 tablespoon of cinnamon. I was running low there, and I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together. I'm using my rubber spatula here. If you also want to use, a hand mixer, that would be great as well. I just didn't feel like running over and washing those beaters really quick, so I'm just smoothing that out using the rubber spatula, and I'm gonna get that to a nice smooth consistency. Then I'm gonna take that pan with the handle off. I'm gonna insert the cake mold. I'm spraying a little cooking spray for safe measures, just to make sure that it comes out nice and easy, and I'm just gonna pour that cake batter right on in there and smooth it all out to a nice even layer. Next, I'm taking that brown sugar topping and I'm scooping it on top of the cake by the tablespoonfuls, kind of like evenly as best that I can. I'm going to be taking a knife for this, and just kind of swirling it through, marbling it through this cake, through the top layer. I'm making sure not, I'm actually just using a sharper knife because I had already used it to cut the butter. Don't want to dirty another knife. So just be careful if you're using a sharp knife not to go all the way down and cut into your silicone baking mold there. This was a pretty thick consistency for the cinnamon brown sugar, so I just worked with it, started making these quick little swirling motions, and that worked out perfectly. It actually brought it down into the cake a bit more, which I really liked, because then the cinnamon wasn't just in one spot. And I'm going to be baking this at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes is what my cake took. If you're using a different kind of pan to just make this recipe, that can vary for you. While that's baking up, I'm going to make the icing or the glaze for this, and that's going to be 1 cup of powdered sugar. To that, I'm going to add 2.5 tablespoons of milk, and I didn't half the vanilla on this because I really like vanilla, so I just kept that at 1 teaspoon. If you're still wanting to half that, it's going to be half a teaspoon, and just mix it all together until it's nice and smooth. I would say to do this actually towards the end of when the cake is almost done, and that's just because sitting out, depending on the weather, if it's cool outside, this is gonna start to get a hard layer on the top. Of course, you can mix it all back up and it can, or warm it up a little bit, and it will smooth right back out, no big deal. But why have any hassle like that? There I was showing you kind of how that cake just separates from the cake mold, no problem at all. But I took it onto a plate and I flipped it over, and there's the design on that side. I am actually going to flip this back over though, because I do want, I'm showing you also those brown sugar bits that went all the way down to the bottom. When pulling it out, those got stuck to that because they are thick and just caramely, which I just scooped them right off there and put them back on the cake. But I inverted that back over onto my cake dish here so I can show that nice browned top side. I like that displayed better, and I'm just drizzling all that frosting right over the top of that, just kind of best I can, however nice of an even layer you got there. This was so good. I'm not a huge sweet person, but when I do like baked goods. Baked goods are my thing, and I can't wait. I ate this hot, super hot, and it was so amazing, but it was falling apart a little bit there, and that's because of how hot it was. I didn't let that set too well afterward or cool, because to me baked goods are just way better when they are hot, and this cinnamon roll cake, it was just really, really tasty. I loved how easy that was as well. Alright, now if you are wanting to win your own very pan here, you have a choice between the original with the handle or the one without. Personally, I would choose the one without. It is space saving, and of course it includes the cake mold, which so far I'm finding very handy, so that's great. I'm going to tell you the terms of this whole giveaway part of it all. You have to be in the US, unfortunately, so if you're outside of the US, I'm sorry about that, but this company ships in US, so we are keeping it like that. Greecho is going to be the one shipping it to you, and what else here? This will last for 2 weeks from the date that this video comes out, so it should end the end of December 3rd at 12:59. I'm going to do Pacific Standard Time. The next day I will choose the winner. I will do it randomly through an app that I input anyone's information in, or account name, whoever comments. I'll put it into an app that randomizes, and that's how you'll be chosen. But you do have to like this video, subscribe to both me and the Greecho appliance page, and I will leave a link to their YouTube channel in the description box down below as well, so you can subscribe to them. If you could leave a comment down below and mention Greecho, the brand Greecho, and that will be spelled up in just the link of this video. It'll be in the title, but either way, just put their brand name there. That will let me know you are entering the contest. I think that is all that needs to be done. So that's all you have to do, is just follow both of our pages, like the video, and leave a comment mentioning the brand, and then I will pick the winner after the contest ends by random choice, and we will ship that out to you. So good luck to everyone, because these pans are really great. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I hope you all have an amazing day.